and welcome to Live with Lou. Today we're going to be talking about different ways to arrange roses, and we're going to work on different types of budgets. I've had so many messages about people wanting to do floral arrangements for weddings, not wanting to spend a whole lot of money. So the first thing I'm going to teach you today is how to save money. And to start out, we're going to do some water, and we need to make sure that we use antibacterial growth for storage. So we're going to add a couple of the antibacterial floral saving. It just extends the life of the flower while we're working on them. And then what's left over once we're done, you can save for another day. Okay? It will extend the life of the flower. So when you're working with roses, typically you want to wear gloves. I'm a little bit more bold, honey, because I'm from the South. Okay? Anytime you can save money during wedding time, you don't have to go to a florist, that's what you need to do. And honey, I'm going to tell you, you can spend an absolute fortune on flowers. So let me go ahead and fill this up. And we're going to stick those in there while we're working. Set this down. Okay, so right now, we're just going to stick these down in there. We're not going to arrange them any kind of way for now. We're just going to stick those in there while we're working. And then later, we're going to pull them out and work on centerpieces. But the first thing we want to do is extend the life of the rose. And to do so, we must use antibacterial. So again, we're not arranging them in any kind of way right now. We're just extending the life of the rose. Then we're going to move on. I'm going to show you how to do arrangements for weddings and things like that, okay? And again, when you're dealing with a girl from the South, we can handle thorns, okay? Because most of us have thorns in our sides as it is. Or every rose has its thorn. Okay, so I have spoke many times about not wasting anything. So the first arrangement I'm going to show you to do at a dinner table is going to be done with our coconut that I just done a video on last week. So I told you to save the inside. This one is not been hulled yet, but you would hold the inside of it out. And what we're going to do is we're going to start forming. And I have these all around the outside of our farmhouse. So what we're going to do is we're just going to go in and we're going to clip ever so slightly. Okay. And you're going to build the outside. And you only want to pick the prettiest of flowers. But you can get a few just for fillers. Okay. Just a few fillers here and there. Now, as I'm turning this, you're going to see what's happening. You're getting a very tropical feel. Can you see that? How beautiful that is. Look how lovely that's starting to look. And it's going to give your guests, if you're doing a barbecue or you're doing something like that, it will make such an impact in your arrangements. Okay. So what we're doing now is we're just going to start to put on the outside. Okay. Now, if you want to put a foam or something like in there to hold them in place, you can, but we're not going to do that today because there's no need in it. And since we're now going to start building at the inside, we're going to cut closer to the ends. You're going to remove all the dead out of the way. And so we're going to go a little bit deeper. And since you don't have a form, you're just going to stick that in there as close as you can, like so. Well, it's starting to fall apart. Okay, wait just a second. We're just going to let it lay where it lays so we know where it goes. Wait just a second. There we go, there we go, there we go. Okay. Then we're going to take another one and we're going to build. And typically you don't want to go any more than 5. You can do a bobby pin to hold them in place. Now the only reason that you're going to stop at 4 or 5 is because you're not going to want to overwhelm your guests. You're not going to want them to be like, oh my God. Now you're going to do no more than 5. And you're going to save your fullest rose for the center. Okay? Now some people like to pop a little bit of color in there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull those out And then I'm going to pull my outside pieces, your edges, out for now, because that coconut is on a level place. Okay. Hold on, I'll get it situated. There we go. Okay, so we're going to pull that out. Now we're going to pull a different color of rose out that we've not used yet. And we're going to get with a fullest. Remember, you want your fullest rose to be right in the center. Okay. Now those petals, as you can see, are the largest. And we're just going to open those up just a little bit because it's going to make that centerpiece pop. And when it pops, your guests are going to be like, wow, she really took a lot of time. And this is a coconut. How inexpensive can that be? So we are going to, and if you're doing drinks for your guest, and again, we're using all flowers that are from around your house, okay? So what I'm doing, just want you to look at how beautiful. Woo, we just had a dump over. Wait 1 second. It's because that table is not stationary. But honey, what a Southern Belle does is she goes right back in there, she picks them up, and now I'm going to hold it till we're done, okay? What don't kill us make us stronger, right? There we go. There we go. Now I want you to look at how beautiful that is. Now, if you set this on any table, at a wedding, at a barbecue, or anything else, you are going to be the belle of the ball. How beautiful is that? How tropical is that? And that, my dear, is sitting out in your backyard. These we have all around the house. We have them sitting everywhere. That took 5 roses and 4 petals off of a tree. You tell me how easy that is, how simple it is. And it's the remnants of a coconut. All right? From my house to yours, you always know that a good Southern belle knows how to have a party. So I'm going to show you how pretty that sits. Look at that. Look how gorgeous. Okay, I'm going to scoot this over. So you just saw me do that. Now let's say that's for a barbecue. Let's say your theme for your wedding is going to be a Hawaiian tropical themed wedding. And you wanted to do these all around for your wedding. Let's say that you decided that you wanted to have a full-blown wedding, and you were doing pearls and lace and all those kind of things. You have these little plastic containers. You can find these in any of your local little. So we're going to now show you how to do little small table pieces, centerpieces. Little for your guests, for each table. Very inexpensive, the same way that we just made those, okay? So we're going to pull the same pieces. We're going to look for the most beautiful that we can find on this tree. And we're going to go around the outside of that bowl. So watch me once more. Now look, I want you to zoom in. I'm actually going to walk this over there, this coconut piece. Look at how that sits down. Okay, look how easy and beautiful that is. Look at that. Look at how beautiful that is. And I'm going to walk that over to you. And I want you to tell me, would that not be beautiful? I'm going to walk that on over there and show you. Let me get my little drink out of the way, my little tropical drink. And then before I begin on the centerpieces for your wedding, I wanted to show you how nice that was. Wow. Wow. You know, we have got to take the time to make sure that we are accustomed to healthy living and that we're not wasting any of our products. That is one thing we cannot do, is waste products, because we are only given one world to live in, people. One world. Okay, and I want to make sure we don't destroy it. Okay. Ooh, I'm stepping up that drink. Okay. So now we're going to move right along to the small table centerpieces. So we're going to turn, and again, these are all things that you should have right at your house. Okay. So we're going to start out here again. And we're going to cut these. Boom. Boom. And what this is called is, it's called layering, and you're going to just cover the outside so that you cannot see anything on the outside. You're making it pretty. You're covering the ugly. Okay. So these dishes may cost you $1, but you're not going to know it, honey. Any guest that comes and says anything, honey, they're just hating. They're just jealous. They're just jealous. And you know, most of these florists would charge you a fortune for what I have just showed you, honey, to do at your house for pennies on the dollar. And if you're a smart Southern gardener, it ain't going to cost you a dime, because you're going to go out to your own garden, pick your own flowers, and do it yourself. Okay? Now you see this layering. Again, you're seeing it build up, build up, build up. And I'm keeping turning this tree, keeping those blooms, keeping cutting those blooms off of there. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Okay? And you're going to do a whole table. Okay? And you're using filler after filler after filler. You've got to keep that hydration going though. As you're building this piece after piece after piece. Now you can use bobby pins and you can also use needles, but I don't see the need in that because you're not going to be there, you know, for long. And if you decide that you want to add a little bit of greenery from your pieces that you've already cut or used or stuck, just take those pieces and clip them off, like so, off of your already used roses. And if you're needing weight or you're wanting to zigzag, and I'll show you zigzag if you've not saw any of my videos before, or if you just need the weight in there to give you a little bit of form, then you can go right in there and put that in there for weight. And that will help when you get ready to layer your roses in there. That's called weighting, so it doesn't look empty. Give you a little bit of greenery in there. Okay. And people say, well, who would have thought? Really, the only thing you're doing, and I'm going to show you the difference in just a second, is giving it weight and something to stick the roses through to give it force behind it. So we're going to cut that off, just like we did with the coconut. So we're going to go with the height of the cups. You want it to be enough to stick up. So as you can see, we're measuring here, we're measuring there. So what we are doing is actually making a filter for you to stick the other flowers in for your arrangement like we did over here. Now, a lot of people think that you have to have floral tape to do this, but a lot of people don't have accessibility to floral tapes, and you don't. So what I'm doing is stockpiling that with the actual excess leaves. That's what I'm sticking in there for dead weight to hold it into place. But if you don't, and you want to do tape, and you don't have floral tape, I'm going to show you how easy it is. You're going to take the tape into sections, and you're just going to almost make like a tic-tac-toe board across your container. So let's envision that you are playing tic-tac-toe with yourself. So you're going to do one row across. That's one. Now you're going to do another row across. That tape is a little slippery today. It's two. I'm going to actually take that piece off. Somehow it's a little bit slippery. It must be from the flowers I just groomed. Lay that to the side. You're going to make a board all the way across your container. And then what you're going to do, once you've made a tic-tac-toe board, is you're going to panel the flowers, your floral arrangement, in between the tape. That's actually going to tell you, if you're not a florist or you've never been shown how to make a floral arrangement, that's how you're going to know where to place your flowers. And a lot of people that do not have an eye for floral arrangements, anybody can be a florist. And I'm going to show you how to do it. This is how I do it because visually I know how. But some people don't know how, so I'm going to teach you that. And as a Southern Belle, it's my duty. You save money. And honey, us Southern women love to save money. And your men will love you to save money. And see that? That's tic-tac-toe board, tic-tac-toe board I'm talking about. So that is going to be the grid that you follow to stick your floral arrangement in. If you visually cannot do what I'm doing, and I'm making a grid with flower leaves underneath the bottom, that's the dead weight. And I'm going to show you the same thing that's happening that I am freehand doing. But if you visually cannot do what I'm doing, you will be able to through the tape. There are small holes here. Every place there's a hole is where you place a flower. So here is where you would put these flowers. You see how easy that would be? Okay. Then every place that's here is where you would place a rose. So this is a coconut. You place the roses here. You place the fillers around the outside grid. And then the roses on the inside. So now that I've got the weights on the inside, I'm going to start with my fillers. And again, if you have dead pieces on the outside of your roses, you're going, and you don't have, this will work with any floral arrangement, okay? It does not have to be roses. But now we're just going to start sticking those in and see what's happening is that arrangement that's in there is holding that in. That's my grid. And my eye is telling me where that needs to go, okay? But if visually you have a hard time with that, then you don't have to worry about it. And don't beat yourself up. All of us were not meant to be doctors, and all of us were not meant to be florists. But all of us were meant to be Southern, honey. All of us. Even us folks from New York City, honey. Okay? Everybody deserves a little tea. Everybody. So, these are the most beautiful thing you can ever see on a table at a wedding, okay? And I don't know very many people that will argue that. And I always like to do a different color, but I'm going to show you both. I'm going to show you a solid print. And again, I want you to envision that I have done all these right with flowers out of my garden, okay? So if these can be made out of flowers out of my garden, and you're just going to open those petals ever so slightly up. Now, if they are wilted or dead, you just tear them off. You just tear those wilted petals off and put them to the side, push them up. And then but the reason you want to open them up is it gives it that little bit of an open view. Now, if you heard that little bit of a crunch, what that is that board. It's acting as the grid, okay? That's why I put those leaves down in there, is it's acting as this same grid that I'm getting ready, that I made for you and shows you how to use. Again, every place there's a hole shows you where you put your outside fillers. Every place there's a hole in the middle is a place that you stick a rose. Every person can be an art designer and can be a florist. So stop playing those high-priced florists to do your work for you. Or go to my website, and honey, I'll teach you how to do it, and I'll make them for you. We all know, honey, LouFields.com teaches you everything. Alright, so as you can see, this is such a beautiful arrangement for a wedding. And we have not even added the beautiful center topping piece. I want you to think about that. Look at how beautiful that is. And I'm going to crown that off. We have a natural one that's costed you nothing. We have one that's pennies on the dollar. Now, the crowning glory is going to be this pink that I add. Oh no, we're going to go, remember, in the middle. What are we going to do? The widest, the biggest, and the best. Look there. Look how wide that is. Now, I have always been taught that, honey, some things that are flawed are the most beautiful. And I think that that leaf being flawed is the most beautiful. And I'm going to show you why. When that expands open and gives that little pop of color, look at that, honey. We are all flawed, but look at that. Look at that, honey. If I go to a wedding and I see this on a table, and look at how it matches. Look at that pop of color. This is a spring floral arrangement that will be any arrangement that a florist does. I will put mine up to theirs any day of the week. And it was very easy, very simple, and we can all do this from our gardens. If you're blessed enough to live in the South, you've already got your flowers going. You've already got what you need to do this with. Again, go to LouFields.com for tips, advice, and any help you may need. Look for more ideas coming, and we are getting ready to show you in the next episode how to do your bouquets. There's no need in paying $70, $80, $90 for a bouquet of flowers when I will teach you how to do them yourself. Follow me live with LouFields.com. I look forward to hearing from you. Email me, talk to me. I love you. Lots of love from way down south, Lou.